Hi guys! As you know, the last date to apply for admission in Lucknow University is 15th June. There are hardly any chances that this date will postpone further because our semester exams are over and the university is closed for the students. Most probably, the admission procedure will be completed during our holiday period only. So, you can expect the exams to be scheduled a few days or a week after the admission form window closes. Based on this, you have roughly around 15 to 20 days to cover the syllabus. If you haven't pursued English in your bachelor's and are completely lost, then you can check out my other video on how to crack LU entrance. In that video, I have shared my own study tactic and the resources you should go for. As for this video, I will talk about the study plan, about how you can cover the syllabus in only 20 days. In fact, you will be able to cover it in 16 days only with 4 days to spare for extra topics. Now, let's get into it. So, I have divided the study plan according to the 3 years of BA. Each year you have 4 papers to cover, and that can be done in 5 to 6 days easily if you study dedicatedly and with deep focus. You can see the schedule here. The texts themselves do not take more than 1 day to be covered. It is the historical background and the writers that take more time, and these two should be your main focus also. There will be questions from the text directly, but the major portion of the paper is based on the writers and history. Your strategy should aim to cover the text of each paper in a single day. If you have more time in your hands that day, then cover a few of the writers also. As you can see, paper 1 and paper 3 require 2 days because you can cover the history of literature simultaneously with those papers. Paper 2 and paper 4 only need 1 day each because it is mostly text based. When you are covering the history, make sure to cover the history of all forms: poems, essays, novels, and drama. You will not find any history of novel in the Elizabethan or neoclassical age though, because the genre came to prominence in the 18th century or majorly during the Victorian period. Focus well on the history of drama. Make sure to make notes of the different examples that pop up during it. Like, for example, when you are studying restoration drama, make note of the examples of restoration comedy and tragedies and who wrote them. Next up is second year. Paper 1 will take your major time in this since it covers the history of the age. All the other text and writers can be covered in 1 day for each paper easily. The forms of fictions are also super simple. Your focus should be on the different examples under those forms. Like, if you're covering Gothic fiction, then you must remember who wrote The Castle of Otranto and when was it published. Don't get too lost in the characteristics and other details about the forms of fiction. Only a basic knowledge of what an epistolary novel is or what is a utopian novel is enough for the MCQs. It is rather the questions like, which among these is a science fiction novel, that will confuse you unless you have firm grip on all the examples. Now, let's look at the third year syllabus. It covers the modern age, which most students find to be the most difficult. If you will start going too deep into the concepts that influenced modernism, you might get confused. But do have a thorough understanding about the period's characteristics first before moving on to the text. It will ease your understanding. If you will sincerely cover the history of literature as mentioned in year 1 and 2, then congrats, you have already covered 75% of paper 1. The poems of paper 2 might take you 2 days to cover because they are a little difficult to understand. Also, these poems are often quoted and the questions tend to ask you to identify the poem to which those lines belong. The most important among them are Iliad, Pound, Frost, Ramanujan, and Ezekiel. The plays and the novels won't take much time as long as you know their plot and the movements that influenced them. The paper can thus be ideally covered in 16 days. You will have 4 days to spare or even more based on your exam schedule. However, it would be better to dedicate these 4 days only for extra study and use the rest of the days for thorough revision. During the 4 days of extra studies, you should aim to cover the syllabus prescribed authors as deeply as you can. I remember there were questions from Hamlet even though it is not in our BA syllabus. This is because certain works outside our syllabus still hold great significance in this discipline. And although those works aren't directly mentioned in the syllabus, they are still a part of it under the history of English literature. So, in these 4 days, have a deeper study of the authors mentioned in the syllabus as well as other important authors like Chaucer. Try to cover as many literary movements as you can, especially the movements directly linked to the text prescribed in your syllabus, such as the kitchen sink drama or the problem plays, symbolism, and others. Take a look at the literary devices such as personification, alliteration, etc. I don't remember if there were direct questions such as identified a literary device in XYZ poem line, but still, such questions are common in MCQs for literature and studying extra brings no loss. If you still have time, you can cover a brief history of English literature in India also. However, you should then focus on searching questions such as who was the first poet laureate, who is the father of essays, what was the first novel in India, who was the last poet laureate, who was the first female poet laureate, and similar questions. So this is it for today. I will start posting MCQs for daily practice on the Lit Nook Telegram channel. If you haven't joined it yet, then the link is in the description and do join it. I will also start sharing PDF notes every 2-3 days. You can also expect detailed videos on the topics to help you cover the syllabus before the exam schedule drops. If you liked this video, do give it a thumbs up, comment your queries or doubts that I should take up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. If you are still watching this video, thanks a lot for waiting until the end. We will meet in the next video. Till then, stay curious and critical.